Here we go. Star Wars, Young Jedi Knights, Shadow Academy, Chapter 11. Dathomir sparkled like a rich topaz jewel, welcoming Tenel Ka as Luke piloted the off-chance down into the atmosphere. Anticipation tingled through her. Regardless of the unhappy circumstances that brought them here, Tenel Ka could not help the feeling of pleasure and joy that throbbed through her veins with every beat of her heart. Home, 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 home. Turbulence buffeted the blockade runner as they descended. Luke studied the displays on the navigation console and adjusted their course from time to time. It's been a long time since I made a visit to the Singing Mountain clan, Luke said. I don't remember exactly how to get there. I think I can get as close, but unless you happen to know the coordinates. Tenel Ka rattled off the numbers before she could finish his thought. At the same time, she leaned forward and entered the coordinates into the navicomp. I come often, she explained. It's my second home in the galaxy, but it's the first home of my heart. Yes, Luke said. I understand that. As the off-chance carried them to the home of the Singing Mountain clan, they passed over the shining oceans, lush forests, vast deserts, rolling hills, and wide fertile plains. Tenel Ka felt strength and energy flow through her, as if she felt the very atmosphere of the planet had the power to recharge her. Look, Luke said, pointing down at a herd of blue-skinned reptiles racing at incredible speed across the plain. Blue Mountain people, Tenel Ka said. They migrate every dawn and every dusk. Luke nodded. One of them gave me a ride once. That is a very rare honor, Master Skywalker, she said. Not even I have had that opportunity. The pale pink sun was high above the horizon by the time they reached the wide, bowl-shaped valley of the Singing Mountain clan, Tenel Ka's second home. A green and brown patchwork of fields and orchards spread beneath them in the pinkish sunlight. Small clusters of thatched huts dotted the valley, and morning cooking fires glimmered here and there. Luke pointed to the stone fortress built into the side of the cliff wall that rose high above the valley floor. Does Aga Dwayne Dojo still rule here? Yes, my great-grandmother. Good. We'll go directly to her then. I'd prefer to tell only a few people why we're here and keep our presence as secret as possible, he said, and then he brought the off-chance to a smooth landing at the valley floor beside the fortress. That should not be too difficult, Tenel Ka replied. My people do not speak unnecessarily. Luke chuckled. I can believe that. Tenel Ka paused halfway up the steep path that led to the fortress. She was not at all fatigued. She was simply savoring the moment. Luke, who had been following behind her with unwavering steps, halted without a word and waited for her to continue. He did not seem the least bit winded. His breathing slow and regular. Slow and regular.
Mommy. I'm out of control.
Luke, who had been following behind her with unwavering steps, halted without a word and waited for her to continue. He did not seem the least bit winded, his breathing slow and regular. No small feat considering the rapid pace, Tenel Ka said. The longer she knew Master Skywalker, the more she admired him, and the better she understood why her mother, who did not often speak highly of any man except her husband, Isolde, had always held Luke Skywalker in high esteem. Tenel Ka drew in a deep breath. The air was delicious, but just not from the mouth-watering odors of roasting meat and vegetables that wafted from the cooking fires. It was late summer in the valley, and the warm breeze was redolent with scents of ripening fruit, golden grasses, and early harvest. Despite the intermingled odors of the lizard pens and the herd of domesticated rancors, there was a freshness to the air that lifted her heart. Tenel Ka set off again, as if there were not a moment to lose. Finally, she stood before the gate of the fortress, where she announced herself as a member of the clan. Gates were thrown open, and Tenel Ka's clan sisters welcomed her with warm embraces and low murmurs of greeting. All were dressed in lizard-skin tunics of various colors, like the one Tenel Ka wore. She wore elaborate head helmets, while others simply wore their hair in decorated braids. One clan sister, with black hair that fell to her waist, drew the two travelers aside. Agwan told us that you would come. Her expression was grave, but Tenelka could see the smile that lit her eyes. Our mission is urgent, Tenelka stated, not bothering to greet the woman. We must see Agwan alone at once. She had never used such a tone of command in Master Skywalker's presence before, but she knew her clan sister would not be offended. At times like this, pleasantries were unnecessary luxury among her people. The woman inclined her head slightly. Agwan has guessed this much. She waits for you in the war room. The ancient woman stood as they entered the chamber. Welcome, Jedi Skywalker, and welcome, great-granddaughter Tenelka Chum Dajo. She embraced each of them in turn. Tenelka groaned. Please, she said, do not use my full name, and do not send word that we are here. Luke interrupted. We were following a trail that has led us from Yavin to Borgo Prime to Dothamir. Our need for information has brought us to you. Tenelka took a deep breath and searched for words. She looked directly at her great-grandmother. Agwine's wrinkle-nested eyes were attentive, curious, cautious. We're searching for the Night Sisters. Do any remain on Dothamir? Agwine's heavy sigh told Tenelka they had come to the right place. The old woman fixed her gaze on Luke. They are not Night Sisters as you and I knew them, she said. Not wizened cones with discolored skin who rotted from night spells they spoke. She shook her head. No, they are newly formed no order of Night Sisters, young and fair, and allied with the Empire. She lifted a finger to stroke Tenelka's cheek. Their evil is subtle. They tame and ride rancors as we do. They dress as warriors if they choose. They are not even all women, but they are the children of darkness. They are dangerous with new goals. Do not seek them out. We must, Tenelka said simply. It is our best hope for rescuing my closest friends. Agwan gave her great-grandmother a measuring look. You pledged friendship with these people? You pledged friendship with these people you must rescue? Tenelka nodded. With full ceremony. Then we have no other choice, Agwan said with finality. You must present your case before the Council of Sisters.